January 2024, I left the cold Northeast behind to visit Oahu, Hawaii. I was actually on my way to Korea. Whenever I fly to Seoul from New Jersey, I usually schedule a stop in Hawaii along the way. After dropping off my luggage, I headed to the Royal Hawaiian Center. There are free cultural performances here, every day except on Sundays and Mondays. Check out their website for free classes too, on crafts like lei making. After the show, I did some eye shopping. There was this cute vintage clothing store called Harbor's Vintage that was worth looking around. Waikiki Market was within walking distance, so that was my last stop of the night for food before heading back to my room. I had never seen macadamia nut pancake mix and coconut syrup before. It's fun seeing the unique food in grocery stores in different states. I also bought some Reef Safe sunscreen for my water activities. I bought some chicken skewers to grill for dinner, and pineapple for dessert that was covered in tangy red lihi mui powder. I like guava, so I also got some guava-flavored bread and a ready-made Mediterranean snack with couscous, hummus, and pita bread. I eat pineapple every day when I visit Hawaii, because it's my favorite. My grocery bill came out to $33.78. After preparing and eating dinner, I slept early because I had to wake up early for a snorkeling tour. The next morning, I went to 7-Eleven to get spam musubi and food for lunch. My tour guide picked me up around 5:30 a.m. so we could do some sunrise snorkeling at the pristine Hanauma Bay Nature Preserve. The tour cost $43 and included pickup and drop-off from Waikiki area hotels and rental of snorkeling equipment. The number of daily visitors to Hanauma Bay is restricted, so it was easier to go with a tour that handled the logistics. An admission fee of $25 per person wasn't included in the tour, so we paid in cash as a group upon arrival. We were required to watch a video first, where we were told to not stand on the delicate reef or go near any sea mammals on the beach. You can get a ride down, but most people seem to walk. We were the first group of visitors to enter the bay, which gave us a rare chance to see the sunrise on a quiet, empty beach. It was so surreal and beautiful. It was definitely worth arriving early. I would visit Hawaii for this one view alone. I had a snack before going in the water. I also decided to rent a life jacket for $10 from a place on the beach that rented snorkeling gear. These are the short fins and snorkel included in the tour package. It was my first time snorkeling, but it was pretty easy once I got used to it. The water was so warm and clear and pleasant. Unfortunately, I couldn't figure out how to take good video underwater, so I couldn't capture all the fish I saw. But they were the most unique and beautiful fish that I had ever seen. After a few hours of snorkeling and lying on the sand, we met our driver again and went back to Waikiki. Hanauma Bay is probably my favorite place in Oahu, and it's the top place I recommend to anyone visiting. Back in my room, I saw this rainbow while having lunch. After eating, I got groceries at Don Quixote, a Japanese store that seems to sell anything you could need while vacationing in Hawaii. I like Hawaiian coffee, and these pour-over pouches were convenient. Next, some salt and vinegar potato chips made by a local company. Coconut water to stay hydrated, and some okonomiyaki with shrimp for dinner. The food here is really good and reasonably priced. Groceries came out to $46.86. I think you definitely get a little more for your money here than at Waikiki Market downtown. The next day, I had some coffee with leftovers while watching the sunrise from my window. I just love the weather here. Today, I went on a photography tour where a guide took you to some photo-worthy spots on the island, starting with this state park. The tour cost $95 and started at 9:30 a.m. with a van pickup. Honolulu means protected bay, and you can see an amazing panoramic view of the city, the Pacific Ocean, and even Diamond Head Mountain from Tantalus Lookout, which is a popular spot to watch sunsets. The next stop was Leonard's Bakery, which is famous for malasadas, Portuguese donuts that are deep fried to a crunchy, chewy texture. Try the original or the ones filled with custard, chocolate, or coconut. These were included in the tour, and there was also time to get coffee. I tried the original donut with no filling. Delicious and not overly sweet.
All right, Coco Crater on your left, guys. Very famous hike.
I think this next place was Hawaii Kai Lookout, but I'm not 100% sure. It was a gorgeous, windy lookout that was great for taking photos. Hula Lookout is famous for viewing humpback whales. Every year, about 10,000 humpback whales return to Hawaiian waters, and you can spot the majestic creatures from November to April. Our next stop was a local beach that was nearly empty when we went. Waimanalo Beach is known for its soft white sand and beautiful water. You can enjoy a swim with the Ko'olau Mountains around you. One of the best parts of this tour was finding out about local spots that I can visit on my own in the future. A short walk away from Waimanalo Beach was a cute little restaurant where we went for lunch. Ono Steaks and Shrimp Shack is a must-visit on this side of the island, especially if you like seafood. I had the $12 garlic shrimp plate with potato macaroni salad. I can't get enough of the local garlic shrimp when I visit Hawaii. And I never miss a chance to have some macaroni salad on the side. This place is really low-key, but has amazing homey food. After lunch, we headed to Nu'uanu Lookout, our final destination. It's an estate park where you can see Hawaii's unique mountainous landscape. and countless native plants and animals. We saw these kitties, jokingly referred to as Hawaiian lions, before entering the park. I wish that I had packed a light jacket for this trip, because it suddenly felt chilly and drizzly up in the mountains. You can really experience different temperatures and climates in different parts of the island, so it's good to be prepared.
I wasn't expecting cold weather.
After returning from the tour, I took a nap to recharge. Every Friday night, the Hilton Hawaiian Village, Waikiki Beach Resort, puts on a cool fireworks show at 7:45 p.m., so I went out to see it. My tip is to go to Magic Island for a better view of the fireworks. I woke up before dawn the next day and put my hiking shoes on to do a sunrise hike at Diamond Head State Monument, something I've been wanting to do for a long time. I took an $18 Uber to the trail. It was still pitch black with stars out when I arrived at the trailhead. Online reservations are required to hike up the mountain. The fee for an out-of-state visitor like me ended up being $6.15. There were quite a lot of people who arrived early to catch the sunrise.
I'm ready.
This is the staircase where people crowd to get the best views. Sunrise was supposed to be at 7:11 a.m., but no matter how long I waited, I couldn't get a clear view of the sunrise because of the clouds. Once the sun had fully risen, I got ready to head down again. I felt refreshed from the morning workout, and the views were really worth the hike up. From up here, you can see the Ko'olau Range, Coco Crater, Coco Head, and even Maui in the distance. I took the local bus back to Waikiki, since there was a bus stop right across the street after you walked out of Diamond Head. I used the bus card to pay the fare of $3 to downtown Waikiki. Back in my room, I had some ramen for lunch. Love having something spicy and soupy after a long hike. During my trip, these macadamia nuts were the perfect snack. I bought a lot of these in different flavors as gifts for my friends and family. After showering, I headed to a food truck to get a fish plate for lunch. Banyon's Island Grill had good reviews and was nearby, so I walked over. They serve different types of fresh fish and local food like local milk. The fish of the day was ono, which was described as having a delicate and flaky texture with a mild buttery taste. This was a nice healthy meal to have for lunch. I also bought a cold beer at 7-Eleven to finish up the meal. I meant to see the sunset at Waikiki Beach, but I arrived late and caught just a little glimpse of the sun before it disappeared. There was some kind of street fair happening, so parts of the road were blocked off from traffic, and there were a lot of people. So I ended my 4th night in Oahu, quietly enjoying Waikiki Beach. I bought a quick breakfast again at 7-Eleven because I had booked an 8 a.m. snorkeling tour in Turtle Canyon and had to leave soon. There are plenty of cheap options to go snorkeling in Turtle Bay, since it's one of the most popular activities in Honolulu. But I decided to splurge on a semi-private tour on a high-speed Zodiac boat. There were only 3 other guests besides me, so it was a lot calmer than those big boat tours with dozens of people snorkeling at once. The boat captain and snorkeling guide brought us to Turtle Canyon, where sea turtles come to shower and get their shells cleaned by fish. The tour cost $102, and the individual attention each of us received from the guide and captain made it well worth the cost. Before even going in the water, we saw sea turtles surfacing for air. It was my first time seeing these beautiful creatures up close.
Oh, he's so cute!
I bought the GoPro option for this tour at $125, and our guide took plenty of underwater photos and video footage of me while I snorkeled. It was really nice to be able to enjoy myself while someone else captured the memories of this unforgettable experience for me. At 8 in the morning, there were hardly any other people on the water, so it really felt like we had Turtle Canyon to ourselves. This company also offers an afternoon tour, but I'd highly recommend waking up a bit early to do the morning tour for a better experience. There's a maximum of 6 guests on this tour, so it would be a good choice for families or a small group of friends to book together. After the tour ended, I took the bus back downtown for lunch. After a few hours of snorkeling, I was craving burgers, so I went to this food truck park with lots of options and outdoor seating. It's at the intersection of Kalakaua Avenue and Muse Street. I spent $16.32 on a burger with fries and ice-cold pineapple juice. That night, I went to the Target near Ala Moana Shopping Center to browse and try to buy some snorkeling gear. I fell in love with snorkeling during this trip and wanted to snorkel again the next day. I ended up buying a basic set for $30, as there weren't that many options left on the shelves. Out of curiosity, I also went to Don Quixote, and they actually had a much better selection of gear for water activities, not just snorkeling, and cheaper prices. Since I was at the store, I picked up some more Japanese food to try. In the evening, the store marks down the ready-made food. Since Hawaii is so expensive, the discounts are pretty helpful. I spent $22.75 on food and headed back home to eat. About to go to bed before my last full day on the island tomorrow. Bright and early the next day, I watched another perfect sunrise before eating and heading to the beach at Magic Island. There was a parade going through the park, so I watched for a bit. The beach here is shallow and protected, so it's popular with families. I had sort of figured out how to use my waterproof smartphone pouch to take video underwater, but it turned out that the beach here didn't have that much fish. Still, I was happy to try my new snorkeling gear and spend the morning swimming. After snorkeling, I was super hungry and went to L&L for some delicious Hawaiian barbecue with lemonade. I had a $16 barbecue chicken plate with macaroni salad, of course. Having something savory, sweet, and salty after playing in the water is the best. I had so much fun snorkeling during this trip that I decided at the last minute to book another outing to Turtle Canyon. This time, the tour was with a bigger group of people on a bigger boat. The harbor where the snorkel cruise was leaving from was nearby. The captain's dog, Sushi, smelled the leftover barbecue chicken in my bag and came to investigate.
Sorry, that's not for you. It's too spicy. She smells the chicken.
That's hysterical. Look, she's staying
Sorry.
over there.
Sorry, it's too spicy for you.
This tour was $55, about half the price of the semi-private tour I tried. Sushi was a welcome member of our tour. The captain told us that she barks when she spots dolphins in the water, so we all looked forward to seeing some. Not too long after departing, Sushi alerted us to a pod of dolphins who were swimming with our boat. At Turtle Canyon, we snorkeled with dozens of people from different boats. After returning, I had to pack because I was leaving the next day. On my last morning, I took a $22 Uber to the airport and checked in. Parts of the Honolulu International Airport are open air like this area. I booked an economy class flight to Seoul for $1,204 round trip. The 11-hour direct flight wasn't full, so I had a lot of space in my row. After spending a week in the Hawaiian sunshine, I was a bit sad to leave because the weather in Korea was freezing cold. But I was still looking forward to seeing my relatives and friends, eating good food, and shopping. If you're heading to Korea from the Northeast, I definitely recommend breaking up your trip with a stop in Hawaii.